Leavanny Under the Sun is an absolute monster. Pair that with Felstinger, bringing its attack up by 3 stages, and you have got an absolute apocalypse on your hands. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. Today we're on a battle versus Pokemaster88 from the Discord server in the OU tier. Well, I say OU, it's more of an OU mix type thing. Looking at the team, they've got some threats. I see the Pikachu, which is interesting. Staraptor hits incredibly hard, so we've got to be careful with that. Leavanny looks like he could put some work in, though, in the sun. If we can get rid of the... No, I think it does well against the whole team. We just Terra Fire against the Colossal so we don't get burned by Flame Body and go from there. So I think I'm going to lead off with Ninetales, get the sun up straight away, and that'll give us more opportunities with Leavanny if we need to. And the battle begins, so Pokemaster's going to lead off with Decidueye, interesting choice. That leads me to think it's probably not a Decidueye and it's probably a Zoroark. They've got regular Zoroark, which is interesting as well. So we're going to get the Drought up, obviously, and now we just go straight for a Fire Blast. I see no reason not to. They either switch into the Colossal or they stay in with the Zoroark and like U-turn or something, or knock off. So I think I'm alright to go for this, so I'm just going to go for it anyway. They do withdraw the Decidueye. We'll never find out if it was a Zoroark or not. And they're going to go into the Colossal. So Colossal comes in. Obviously, Colossal can definitely... That's nice and shiny as well. Gotta love it. It can obviously sponge a Fire Blast, no problem. There we go. It did nothing. And we can just switch out now. So we can go into our Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr doesn't care if it gets burned. It's got the guts after all. And then we can just Drain Punch something on their team except from the Decidueye. So I think I am going to go Conkeldurr. I think it does a lot of work against their team. So I think it's going to be good to have that thing all revved up and ready to go. So there's the Conk. Let's see what they do. They go for a Stealth Rocks. To be expected, to be fair. Now, we could have Defog on our Conkeldurr. They don't know. We might have it. We don't. We're Assault Vest, but we might. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a knockoff expecting the Decidueye to come in. They are going to actually Terastalize. What type are they going to turn into, though? So they must be expecting a knockoff or something. So they're going to turn into a Water type, which is fair enough. Water type makes sense. It means that they're going to be able to get be neutral to the Drain Punch for a start. We go for a knockoff though. We're going to knock off whatever item they've got, which is the heavy duty boots. Good to know. As they go for a Scald. Wait, that thing gets Scald? I mean, it doesn't do any damage to us because we're Assault Vest, but still. We get the burn as well, which is actually really good for us. So we're Assault Vest and we're Guts boosted now, which is crazy good. Crazy good. So what we can do now that this thing has transformed into a Water type, they're probably going to stay in. So we may as well go for a Drain Punch this turn and then go for another knockoff to finish it off. They are going to withdraw the Colossal this turn. What are they going to go into? Decidueye? Probably, right? Yeah, Decidueye, the Treasure Hunter, comes in. So with Decidueye in, being a Ghost type, it's going to be immune to the Drain Punch, which we go for. Obviously, it doesn't do much. So this thing could have Brave Bird. That's the thing that I'm worried about. With the Decidueye, we definitely want to keep Conkeldurr for later, so I don't want it to go down just yet. I think now is the time to bring in Torkoal, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Going to withdraw Conkeldurr. Old Boogie the Clown's coming back, running away like the coward that he is. And we're going to go into Torkoal real quick. They're probably going to go for a Leaf Blade or a Brave Bird, probably. They go for a Leaf Blade, so they didn't have Brave Bird, which is good to note. But they could have done. They could have done, and I think we made the right play by switching into our Torkoal right here. So what we can do is we can scare this thing out. They don't want to get hit by a Lava Plume. They probably switch out into the Colossal because it gets that Steam Engine, if it is Steam Engine. So I'm thinking to go for a Rapid Spin first. I think that's probably the best thing to do. So I am going to go for a Rapid Spin here. They do withdraw the Decidueye, not wanting to get roasted by a Lava Plume. And they're going to go into Pikachu. So Pikachu comes in. Pikachu, as we know, gets Surf, which is something to worry about. Rapid Spin does over nearly half thanks to a critical hit, but even then it was still pretty badass pretty badass damage for a Torkoal. Pikachu is very frail though, so that's one thing to note. Alright, so we've still got the Sun, so Surf isn't going to do as much damage. We can go for a Lava Plume here, or we can go for a Body Press. I'm leaning towards Body Press, so that's what I'm going to go for, because they could easily go into the Colossal again. They go for a T-Bolt, nearly gets the KO as Torkoal is able to finish off the Pikachu. Brilliant. So the Pikachu, big threat down. Big threat down. Big threat down. In comes Staraptor. So Staraptor is obviously able to finish us off. It's nice and shiny as well. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So let's go for a... I cannot... no. Because if they get Stealth Rocks up again, Torkoal goes down to the next switching because we're not heavy duty boots. So I think I'll just go for a Lava Plume here just in case. But I do go for a Double Edge, which is going to take out Torkoal. So that's fine. I suppose in hindsight, I could have probably gone into Landorus there and saved Torkoal for fodder later. But at the same time, I don't want my Landorus to take too much damage. Now that the Harsh Sunlight is faded though, we could do Ninetales again. Ninetales could be good. And we could Terrafire Leavanny and go for the Terra Blast to KO this thing. That could be good. If they're locked into Double Edge though, I kind of want to go into my Landorus. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Landorus. Landorus can get the Intimidate off, which is always nice, lowering the attack of the Staraptor. And then we're going to be able to go for a Stealth Rocks. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for a Stealth Rocks just to get them up. They do switch out of the Staraptor. What are they going to go into though? The Colossal. The Colossal comes in. It's a nice and powerful water type, nice and shiny, and it's got Scald. So that's something to worry about. So there we go, Stealth Rocks come through. Now they could easily go for a Rapid Spin here. They definitely could go for a Rapid Spin here. I'm banking on them going for a Stealth Rocks first, so I'm going to go for a U-turn, and I'm going to go straight into my Rotom. I think Rotom's the best. Oh, they got the Flame Body as well, no. They burn my Landorus, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. Landorus doesn't do too much damage to their team. With offense, it's more of a Stealth Rocks digging into them type thing. So, we've got a couple of options. We can go Leavanny, go for the Leaf Blade, get the KO. That probably baits in something else though, but we haven't got the Sun. So I'm leaning towards Ninetales to get the Solar Beam off, or the Rotom. That's what I'm leaning towards. I think Ninetales with the Solar Beam is probably the better one. So in comes Ninetales, looking all amazing and nice and shiny, gotta love it. We get the Drought up, which is going to bring the Sun for 8 turns, thanks to our Heat Rock. They do go for a Stealth Rocks on the switch, which is fair enough. Stealth Rocks are up. And now we can just go straight for a Solar Beam. There's no real reason not to go for a Solar Beam here. It should definitely KO the Colossal. They might expect us to switch here. Solar Beam comes through. They do stay in because they don't really have another switch into a Fire Blast from this thing. So Solar Beam comes through, and hopefully we get the KO. It does get the KO on the Colossal, and that is the big threat down. That's their hazard clear. Oh, no. Decidueye could be defog, to be fair. But I'm not banking on it. I'm not banking on it being defog at all. In comes Glaceon the Sleepy. Now, that is definitely a Zoroark. Because why else would you bring a Glaceon in? Also, the Stealth Rocks didn't do nearly as much damage as they should have done to a Glaceon. They outspeed us. They go for a knockoff or a Dark Pulse or something along those lines to get the KO. I'm leaning towards a Conkeldurr switch. That's what I'm leaning towards. Or a Rotom. If they're going to go for a Dark Pulse, we could go Rotom Volt Switch on it. I think we'll go Rotom. I think that's probably the best thing to do. Because, I mean, if they have Grass Knot, it's not going to do much to Rotom anyway because it's light as a feather. You know, despite it being a washing machine right now, but it's still light. It's a very small washing machine as well. So Sucker Punch comes through. That's not going to work, I'm afraid. Wasn't trying to stay in there. I really thought they'd go for a Dark Pulse or something. But I guess not. So, let's see how this plays out. Let's go for a Volt Switch and just get on out of there. And then, there's the Knockoff. Knockoff's going to knock off our leftovers, which is fine. Proves the Life Orb as well. We go for a Volt Switch and reveal that is not a Glaceon. That is a pesky Zoroark. But the Zoroark is in prime position. You guessed it. Leavanny's coming through right now. Leavanny is your time to shine. They've got 4 Pokemon left. Let's see if we can do it with Leavanny. Let's see if we can do it with Leavanny. Right, we'll go for a Fell Stinger, take this thing out. We do outspeed. They probably go for a Sucker Punch to get some damage off. They're going to withdraw the Zoroark, which means we aren't getting the Fell Stinger off today. And they're going to go into Staraptor. So Staraptor comes in. Now, we haven't weakened the Staraptor nearly enough, but Stealth Rocks are in. And we can go for a Fell Stinger now. Get a bit of chip damage off, which is not really doing much. We can now Terra Fire Terra Blast, and in the sun, it should definitely KO the Staraptor. So let's go for it. Let's just go for it. I want Leavanny to do this. It's a shame we couldn't get the KO on the Zoroark just there with the Fell Stinger, but, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah, we're going to Terra Fire, get that nice little crown of fire on our head, which is always nice. Leavanny is set up to go because the rest of the team basically goes down to this set. Watch this Staraptor live. Watch it live a Terra Blast in the sun. Just to annoy me. No, it doesn't. That's good. Staraptor doesn't live, which is great. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get the KO with the Fell Stinger and get the plus in attack. But you know what? I don't think we need it for the rest of their team. In comes Glaceon the Sleepy. Is it the Glaceon, though? It is the Glaceon. So, has it got heavy duty boots? It does have heavy duty boots, which means the Tera Blast might not KO, and they can go for, I think he gets Water Pulse, but I'm not 100% sure. So let's go for the Tera Blast anyway. Should KO the Glaceon, and even if it does, I'm not too worried. Tera Blast comes through, and obviously they've already used their Terra on Colossal, so we don't have to worry about any surprise Terras, as the Glaceon gets completely annihilated by the Tera Blast. Wow, okay, cool. Glaceon went down. Now we just got Zoroark and Decidueye to look after. Decidueye comes in. Is it the Decidueye or is it the Zoroark? It's the Zoroark. Zoroark comes in. Get some Stealth Rock chip, which is great. Now I'm going to go straight for that Fell Stinger because we're trying to get an over-the-top KO on this Decidueye that comes in after this. Sucker Punch comes through. Does some decent damage, to be fair, but not enough to get the KO as we go for a Fell Stinger now. KOing the Zoroark, disguised as the Decidueye. We got a crit as well. Wow, okay, so we're getting some overkill right now. We got the crit when I had like no HP left. And we're about to get a +3 in attack from the Fell Stinger boost, which is just ridiculous. Drastic. Sorry, not ridiculous, drastic. Harsh Sunlight has faded, but we do not need the sun. I'm pretty confident that Leavanny outspeeds Decidueye. So, do I go for a Tera Blast Fire? Of course I go for a Tera Blast Fire, but I mean, do I see if Lunge KOs? Or should I just go... I kind of want to see if Lunge KOs, but I don't want to at the same time. I'm going to go for a Tera Blast and just finish the game up. There we go, Tera Blast comes through. It's +3 attack. And that is going to be GG. Leavanny came through! I'm so happy because the last team, we didn't get Sandslash to do anything in the last Sand team, but Leavanny has like put work in both games with this team. Absolutely amazing. GG, Pokemaster. But anyway, here's the team. If you want to try it out, use the code at the top right corner of the screen. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.